video presentation. We will talk about each of our group's members' actions and decisions of what they were purchasing during week 8 until week 10. This action is taken over by each of group members on themselves, which is called as consumer behavior.
Along this week, each of us have recorded personal consumptions and turned it into pie chart. In the end, we can see the percentage of how much of spent on need and want. Personal consumption in the pie chart are divided into 5 sectors,
which is food, clothing, leisure time, transportation, and others. This video presentation are made to investigate a variety of expenses of everyday use, focusing on why we bought the items and what is our personal life.
Hello everyone, I would like to share how I spent RM124.85 during my midterm breaks. During my midterm break, I managed my spending carefully. Most of my expenses went toward activities and things that brought me enjoyment and relaxation. For instance, I used a total of RM14 from tickets to watching movie to make my holiday memorable. Also, I spent a total RM62.85 for my haircut once in a month and for raw chicken meat for barbecue with my friends. This activity was for deepen my relationship with my friends. Other than that, I spent RM48 on food. It was also when I spent my time with my friends back to when we hang out together. That is the end of my explain on how I spend my money during midterm break. Okay, let's move to the pie chart. The pie chart above represent my consumption from week 8, week 9, midterm holidays and week 10. It shows the percentage of my expenses either on food, orders and entertainment and leisure time. As we can see, the biggest percentage of the pie chart is the dark one, which is food. I spend almost my monthly pocket money on food. This happens because I am always thinking about what is more important to spend for instead of buying what I want. The percentage for the food sites is 67.8%, which mean a total of RM313.70 I spend on getting food. Next, I consume money on other things too, like laundry. I use a washing machine at my college which need to use token to use it. Other than that, I also bought earbud as I did not have any for listening study. I also use some of my pocket money to cut my hair once every month. Overall, I use a total of RM120.75. The percentage for other things is 29.1%. Lastly, the smallest amount I spent was entertainment and leisure time, which is when I went to see a movie near my place. The amount is 3.1%, which is mean the total amount spent was RM14. To conclude, I spend my pocket money wisely because I prioritize what I need the most rather than what I want. That's all from me.
Okay, so here as you can see that I have spent a total of RM140 during week 8. I have spent most of my money only at food and it cost me around RM120. This is my personal budget and how I use my money every week to buy food. This shows that I could save my money around RM30 every week because each week I got a budget of RM170. I also could spend lower than RM21 for food, but for me personally, we should live to eat and not eat to live. Other than that, I also use a laundry during day 3. This is because once a week, I usually would go to laundry and wash my dirty clothes. So, that's all for me and my personal consumption for week 8.
The distribution of revenue is shown in a pie chart with a sizable majority, 69%, devote to evaluation about food, suggesting a great interest in or liking for food. This implies that more money is spent on food since it is necessary for everyday survival, and maybe because people have preference for particular types of food or eating experience. However, just 80.8% of the evaluation are about other categories, including going to the mall or using a laundry service, which indicates a smaller but still significant interest in themes unrelated to eating. Other than that, we could see that food is the majority percentage of spending. This shows that we spend our money more on needs than wants. Other than that, my percentage on clothing is 10.8%. This is because clothing is not that necessary on spending our money. Same goes to entertainment, which is 1.3%. This shows that I using my saving money to reward myself after saving my pocket money. Last but not least, I spending on the others entertainment and clothing is not much. To sum up, I spend more on needs than wants. That's mean I could save and manage my pocket money wisely.
As you can see, on my right side, this is a bar chart of my personal consumption. Obviously, you can see the big difference between foods, transportation, others, and clothing. Now, let me explain why the others is the biggest pie slice in the pie chart. We saw that what I spend on others is 58.3% out of the whole pie chart. It is because I bought a lot of books during week 9 on Friday, 24 May 2024. That particular day had Pesta Buku Antarabangsa Kuala Lumpur held in the World Trade Center. I used the bus as my transport because that day my university did make a trip on going there. You see, I'm a bookworm, and I even found a book that has my name. I spend my money on others such as skincare products, clubs fee, free printing service, buying prepaid to get internet services, and I bought earbuds to give to my loved one. Now, the biggest of my pie chart is foods that contain 39.5%. Well, since I'm still a student of University Technology Mara Campus Raub, food is my main source in my daily life. Let's look at my pie charts again. As I mentioned just now, that food is the biggest pie chart in my personal consumptions chart. It is because the rule is students can cook or bring any cooking essentials in their college. This is my table of expenses during week 8, and it's total 88 ringgit 60 cents, and almost all of the records are foods. During week 9, mid-semester break, and also week 10, I spent all of my money on food because I'm not allowed to cook. There were two smallest percentages that are not mentioned by me yet, which is transportation and clothing. Because I already had a lot of clothes in my closet, I think it isn't really necessary to spend it. Furthermore, it's not necessary to pay for transportation such as Grab because I need to spend a lesser amount of money because I'm still a student and I had no reason at all to go outside of my campus. Hence, I learned that I should save my money so that I will be a good consumer on spending what I need rather than what I want.
I'm Aisha. This is my personal consumption pie chart. The pie chart illustrates the 4 categories in my expenses for these 4 weeks, starting from week 8, 9, week 7 holiday, and week 10. The 4 categories are foods, transportation, leisure time, and others. The highest expenses is food, which is 58.9%, while the lowest is expenses on leisure time, which is 5.9%. After recording the expenses, I found that food was the biggest expenses among the others. This is because food is the most important thing in daily life. The next highest category of my expenses is others. Others categories consist of books, detergent, cab, skincare, and more. This expenses is really done because it is something that is not too important to buy regularly. The next expenses is transportation, which has a percentage of 7.3%. This is because I really use public transport to get to the city. I will only use public transport such as buses or MRT to go home during certain holidays. Last but not least is leisure time spending. My club has organized hiking on the weekend, and this is an opportunity for me to spend my time doing something worthwhile. According to my personal consumption table, my overspending is on week 9, which is 141 ringgit and 95 cents. This is because that I went home for the holidays, so I used the money to top up my T&G card, transportation, and buy a few other things. And I also bought my family dessert when we were on vacation. While the lowest week is during the mid-sem holiday, which is only 79 ringgit. I don't spend much of my money when I'm at home because everything depends on my father, who often does my shopping. To sum up, what I can conclude is that my personal spending is a lot on food compared to other expenses, which has a difference of 41.1%. Okay, so my learning experience based on my members' pie chart and table is I firmly believe that I learned that we should spend money on things that are useful for our own good. Second is I need to save money and use it for more important needs so as not to waste it on other useless items. Last but not least, I have found that majority of my friends spend a lot on food compared to other expenses. This is a good thing because it fulfills daily needs rather than wants.
Hi, my name is Aina, and now I want to tell about my personal consumption. My daily usage for 4 weeks is shown in the pie chart. Food is the highest percentage. Since food is a basic human need to continue life, so it is not weird and surprising. Food percentage is equal to 68.8%. Next, the highest percentage in the pie chart shows other. Example for other are including club fees, printing service, and so on. As you can see, the percentage for other is equal to 18.6%. Clothing is follow after other, which is total to 8.7%. Clothing has a small percentage because I don't buy a lot of clothes since I already have many clothes. For the last, transportation is the lowest percentage with only 4.1%. Example for transport is Grab. I use Grab to go buy things since I stay at university. To conclude, there is a 64.5% difference between the highest and the lowest percentage, which are food and transportation. So, best are the table on the side. It shows the week where I spend the least amount of money, which is in the week 8 as much as RM 91.80. However, during the missing holidays, I spent a lot of my money. As you can see, I spent around 282.40. What can I conclude is I got some learning experience that might improve my daily consumption. For the first, I have learned that almost all the members of my group spend their money more on food. Other than that, I realize everyone spend more money on food because it is a basic human being. But Kimlia take it different from others. She spend more money on other things like books and pretty services because of her personal needs. And the last learning experience, I also realized that I should spend my money on leisure time like Aisha's and Naiman's daily use, not just on food.
So, to conclude our assignment, we learned that consumers' behavior is put in our daily life as we put ourselves as a consumer who need to figure out what we need and want. It is true that there is no limit to what people want, but we need to control ourselves in order to prevent our money from going to waste. We need to buy the things we need and think wisely and thoughtfully about buying the things we want, whether it is necessary or not.
As we refer to all the pie chart above, the majority of group members spend most of their money on food. This is because food is our daily need, which is we need to consume for living our life. Other than that, it also will be making us waste our money by buying food because we buy it using our appetite. So, think about it wisely whether we need to buy food to continue living or to satisfy our appetite.
Next, having a solid financial plan is essential to making sure our money is spent sensibly and not on pointless purchase. By carefully weighing our necessity against our aspiration and giving saving and investment top priority. This careful handling helps our general financial health and well-being in addition to benefiting each of us personally.
To sum up, we need to use our money on something important rather than spend it to satisfy our own wants. This is because we do not want to waste more of our money and to make sure our money was out of our budget.